I am a walking local that will learn how to soar to great heights in my life for the betterment of myself, family, and those who are following me. I am a man of character, commitment, and courage. I am a man of integrity, intellect, and influence. I am a man of discipline, determination, and dedication. I am a man of faith, focus, and fortitude. I am the designer of my own destiny. I challenge myself and others to be great. I am walking successful in everything I do. I am walking in love. I am a magnet for success. I don't mistreat people. I am my own walking life story. My life is governed by love, respect, and loyalty. I am a walking logo. Not everyone has a right to speak into my life, and I will associate with family and friends that are ambassadors of truth and divine love. I am built to succeed. I am the walking logo.
You know, me and Carlo, we go back. You know, me and Carlo, we like brothers. We was coming up together. You know, we done a lot of dirt. You know, coming up in the streets and whatnot. You know, we got the kind of mindset. You know, like, you know, what I mean, an eye for an eye type of mindset. You know, we thought senseless back then. On the streets, man, you know what I'm saying? You know how a brother feel, man. A brother feel like, man, my man a soldier, man. My dude, he a soldier, man. He took that on the chin, man. Not even understanding what he just threw half his doggone life away, for real, man. He ain't gonna say it's stupid. You just gonna say it's senseless, for real. He didn't think, for real. He didn't think before he acted. Man, how did that happen? Come on, man. The man above was on that man's side that evening. What else is left? But my man to sit on down. But lucky he sat down, though. Lucky that man sat down. Lucky that man sat down, for real. Lucky you sat down, brother. Lucky you sat down, for real. On everything I love, lucky you sat down.
Thing that you ladies, both of you ladies, do is y'all have just really is attached to this movement as far as standing up the father. It's almost like it is your father that's incarcerated or is struggling from child support. You know, I mean, just y'all's dedication and commitment. What is that about? What drives you? What is the mindset behind that?
That's a really good question, Carlos. A couple of things for me. At the end of the day, it's about the children.
Yes.
Absolutely about the children. So yes, at the Commission on Fatherhood, we do, advocate positive policy for fathers and families. We do fund programs.
Yes.
We do, travel throughout the state of Ohio and sometimes outside of Ohio.
Yes.
Again, promoting and bringing the awareness of the importance that fathers do play in their children's lives. But again, at the end of the day, it's about our children.
Yes.
Because scholarly research shows, again, this is not just information we're pulling out of the air. This is years and years of research that there's something that happens with our children when dad is not there.
Yes, yes.
And it's important to me, first of all, to ensure that we do bring dad back to the family. That's A. And then B, to work with systems to make that an easy process,
Yes,
right? To make
yes.
that a seamless process to bring them back to their families and to their children. Secondly, my personal experience. I am no longer married to the father of my children,
Yes.
but he is there. And so we decided when we got divorced that we were not going to allow our children to become statistics. Because again, the research shows when dad is not there, 7 times more likely for your child to become pregnant as a teen, 2 times more likely for an infant to not reach his or her first birthday. So now we're dealing with infant mortality. Kids have antisocial behavioral problems. They end up in the criminal justice system. They don't do as well on tests academically. So again, for me, it's about the children.
Yes.
I actually lived it. I watched it. My children are older now. And I do believe that without their dad actually being there and being present and being a good father, that they would probably not be where they are today.
Yes.
And I want that for every child.
Yes.
I want that for every child.
Yes, absolutely.
My name is Dion Parker, and I'm here today to let you all know my story. I'm not going to give you the whole full story, but I'm going to give you just enough so you can understand my plight and where I come from. I just recently served 5 years in prison for some fraudulent activities and what they consider to be white collar. And I had a little bit of drug involvement as well. And when I went to prison, you know, I was still stuck in that same mindset that when I get out, I'm going to do the same thing. And it wasn't until a program that starts within organization brought in the Walking Logo program that it started to really alter my train of thought. See, up until that time, I was still busy doing the same thing. I still didn't see the value that I had in myself. So because I wasn't around people, or I didn't take a program that had value or a purpose, I didn't see that I had value and purpose to pursue.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Hey, I'm doing okay. That young lady will take you right there. Okay, thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing okay. I'm here for Susan Brown.
Okay.
All right, how was your holiday?
Good.
Good.
Yours?
Oh, it was fantastic. You know, I got a hoverboard. Well, my son got a hoverboard, but I'm treating it like it's mine.
Uh-oh.
I put him to bed early so I can drive, so I can ride it. I say, so it's time for you to go to bed.
Go ahead and sign in right there with your name and the time, and I'll let her know that you're here.
Okay. I said, I need to get my ride time in. Every time you up, you ride a hoverboard. So, the bedtime is 7 o'clock now.
Hi, Susan. Carlos is here to see you.
You ain't fail yet?
Yes, he fell. He fell like 3 times.
All right, she's on her way down.
Okay, sounds
You can
good.
just have a seat.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
He fell into a box.
I felt it was crazy, man. It was crazy, man. But yeah, just exciting to be able to, like I said, just to experience that, man. It's just a beautiful thing, man. That's what it's all about. You know, that's what it's all about. Oh, there she goes right there. Hey,
Carlos, so great to see you.
Good to see you as well. All right, this is my guy, Dion. You remember him from the graduation?
All right, how are you? Good to see you, Dion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw him, it made me cry.
Yeah, you remember?
He was so inspirational.
Absolutely, yes. So
Yep.
I want to just discuss about getting him in the Compass program and being a speaker for the Compass program. You know,
Awesome.
just
Yeah.
powerful. So
Yeah.
he's a good resource, and I just want to make the
Absolutely.
connection with him and Judge Jameson.
Okay.
I think it'll be beautiful.
Okay.
This is my son. He's baby Bubba. This is the guy that that does all of the work in the house, man. So
Yep,
that's
yep.
what it is.
Yeah, well, good to see you again. All right, well,
Absolutely.
let's go upstairs.
Let's make it happen. Did you get a chance to read the book?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so difficult to be what you cannot see. It really is. If you're not used to seeing success, then therefore you will never think you are a success. But I said, man, if this brother can do it, certainly I can too. He makes me realize that I'm not limited by my environment. I'm not limited by the color of my skin, nor am I limited by the events of my past. I recognized through that program that I was only limited by the size of my hope. See, when I started developing that hope and I put it with some faith, I began to establish my value and I began to establish my purpose.
We need to have community folks reach into our prisons with meaningful, evidence-based work and just honest caring for people.
Yes, absolutely.
And they need to be the same people that are with our folks when they're released.
Yes.
Reach
absolutely.
in and pull out.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And I know you understand that so well and what you're doing with that consistency and what others are doing, but that's what we need to do. And I've got to tell you, the people think I'm nuts, and I'm okay with that. If we're serious about changing lives, and we look at the role of mentoring, all 49,584 folks that we have incarcerated in Ohio's prisons today should have someone on the outside that's a mentor.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
a guide, that will stand up and say, hey, you're wrong when they need to.
Yes, accountability.
And then also talk and push people to think about their future.
Yes.
One-on-one. And people say that's impossible. Well, maybe it is, but it's not going to happen if we don't try.
Yes.
And I've got to suggest to you that I think that is the most important path forward. And if I could wave a magic wand anywhere, would say that we would have enough pro-social, committed Ohioans in the community. We got 11 million Ohioans.
Yeah, I know.
You think 11 million Ohioans? We ought to be able to 49,000. We do
We
that.
should be able to, absolutely.
And then, by the way, if we could release get some of the people not coming to prison,
Yeah,
reduce that down, we got a better chance of that
absolutely,
too.
because
Our
we
numbers
turn
are
them
really better.
into some of the mentors.
Our numbers are
People
better.
Get released as well.
So, I think that needs to happen. I think that's a value of your program.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's a value of programs that we have seen work in Ohio, where people reach in and they know, and they build a relationship before they leave prison, and
Yes.
they know they can trust
That's
that
everything.
person.
That's everything.
And when they come out, they will listen. I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
So.
An organization to me, it's basically a chance for me to start over. I'm able to look deep within myself, and with each section that we have been involved in with the class, I've been able to learn a little bit more about myself. We started off with the parenting piece that Carlos taught, and to have an ex-felon who's also a man to come back into a woman's facility and teach us how to parent while we're incarcerated, it just speaks volumes to me. And so I've been able to really look at myself and say, I don't have to be ashamed of being a felon. I don't have to be ashamed of being incarcerated, and that there are individuals like me who do get out and get a second chance and they do the right thing. And so moving throughout this class, I just continue to find the strength to be able to endure and to know that when I go home, it's going to be a struggle, but I know that I can do it. As far as Carlos's character, Carlos is an amazing individual, and just the fact that he left prison and didn't forget what prison does to individuals mentally and emotionally and spiritually. The fact that he takes his time out every week to come and to meet with us, and that he's able to find people who are in the community who don't look at us as felons or inmates, and that they're willing to teach us things that they have learned. It has been an amazing journey. And so with the Starts Within organization, I really encourage everyone to take a chance to listen to the message that Carlos is out there speaking on our behalf, and to just not view us as a menace to society, but view us as individuals who have made a mistake, and now we're taking this chance to basically reinvent and to start all over again.
Being separate.
A lot of times, when we run into people that are doing outside ministry that are not based in the church, we don't support it. And so the Spirit of the Lord just told me that we need to get behind Elder Carlos and start supporting his ministry. And so we vowed to make a $20 donation a week. I know it may not be much to some, but we're just a small congregation starting out. But, I believe that we should support him, not just, a lot of times people say, well, we'll pray for your ministry and we'll just push you on out there and let you go do your thing. But ministry costs something. It costs money, amen. And so I think some other churches should get involved with this, because he's helping our brothers and sisters. All of us have somebody in our family that's locked up. I mean, cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, friends. And so they need to be ministered to. I'm talking about effective ministry. And so I just like what he was doing, and I thought it was a valuable tool that I could use, amen. And he was more in the aspect of us helping him, but he's really helping our ministry, amen, because it's a blessing for us to be able to help our brothers and sisters that we might not be able to touch them, but he can touch them. And so, but you need money to support ministry. And so we just want to give him the money to help him go out and do the things that he does, amen. And anytime we can support him, that's what we're going to do. So if he sets up a conference or something, he has some people. He doesn't have to go out and try to hunt up people to come in and work the conference or work whatever he has to do. We will be there available to do those things with him, amen, and support him financially. So I just believe that churches need to get behind movements like this and put our money where our mouth is what I told him.
Russ, I know that you purchased the books and where you get the money for the books at, but can you just highlight where do you get that money from for the book Prison Without Bars? So y'all done purchased like 400 or 500 copies of the book, right? And it's just, where does that money come from?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the important things that we do is when we're enforcing drug laws on the street, our detectives and our drug task force has taken seized drug money off the street, and we're taking that and investing it back into the community. So we're using some of that legally seized drug fund money and investing it back into the lives of inmates and in programs and in education to make a difference. So
wow.
We are committed to doing that, and we think it's kind of turning the tables on the drug dealers, because they're out there trying to make a profit off of ruining people's lives, and we're interested in taking some of that money and changing people's lives for good.
Absolutely, and that is powerful, because that is what the book Prison Without Bars is all about, is how do you overcome a mentality that gets you incarcerated, right? Versus pointing the finger at everybody else, it says we need to start to figure out how to overcome a mentality that gets you incarcerated. And if you have the information, then that's how we get it done, right?
Absolutely, and I think